Come closer. The shadows have missed you, and tonight they have a new story to tell. Welcome to Scary Stories After Dark. Two in the morning felt different in Serenidad. Quieter than it should have been. The streetlights hummed like insects. Storefront windows stared back at her, blind and black. Even the palm trees along Sunset Street seemed to lean away from the road, their fronds whispering in a wind she couldn't feel. Sally Beaumont walked faster. The folded newspaper ad trembled in her hand.
Wanted, club staff, private transport provided, excellent pay.
She had read it 100 times. Enough money to leave, enough to finally disappear on her own terms. Headlights touched her back. Not bright, just present. Following. Sally told herself not to look. People drove this road at night. Rich people, important people. The club sat at the top of the hill like a crown. Traffic was normal. Still, the light stayed with her when she crossed the street, stayed when she slowed, stayed when she quickened again. Her mouth dried. The hum of the engine matched her pulse. She glanced over her shoulder. Black sedan, long, polished. Windows dark as ink. It rolled to a gentle stop when she did. Her stomach turned. This wasn't coincidence. This was selection. Sally forced a laugh at herself, a thin sound swallowed immediately by the empty street. She lifted the newspaper like it proved something. "I'm here about the job," she whispered. The rear door opened. No one stepped out. The inside was only shadow. For a moment, she considered running. But she pictured overdue bills, the life she was stuck in, the slow suffocation of staying.
Private transport provided.
Her legs moved before courage could argue. Sally bent toward the opening. A hand shot from the dark. Cold, certain. It clamped over her wrist and pulled. The newspaper slipped from her fingers, fluttering onto the asphalt as the door slammed shut. The sedan drove away gently. Unhurried. Like it had all night. By morning, Serenidad had already begun its quiet edits. The newspaper on Sunset Street was gone. No one admitted picking it up. At the diner, a waitress mentioned headlights in the night, but her voice stayed careful, like she was stepping around broken glass. A man in a golf sweater reminded her that important people came and went at strange hours. Opportunity did not keep a schedule. The conversation folded in on itself after that. Coffee poured, plates clinked, life resumed. Above the counter, a small television whispered the local news. A smiling reporter spoke about a rise in tourism, about generous donations made anonymously to improve the town's historic district. At the bottom of the screen, almost politely, a ticker crawled past. Police continue search for missing resident. Sally Beaumont's yearbook photo flickered beside it. The image vanished quickly, replaced by an advertisement for the club's upcoming charity gala. No one commented. They never did. People disappeared in Serenidad the way socks vanished in a dryer, inconvenient, briefly puzzling, then accepted as the cost of living. Jerry Brandt watched it all from a booth near the window. He hadn't slept. The classifieds lay open in front of him, wrinkled from being read too many times. Ink smudged his thumb. The promise printed there seemed louder than the rest of the paper.
Private transport provided. Excellent pay. Discretion required.
He thought of the hospital bed in his living room, his mother's breathing machine, his kid brother riding a bike through the dark every morning, pretending he wasn't tired. Money fixed things, didn't it? Outside, a long black sedan turned the corner at the end of the street. Slow, patient. Jerry felt it before he understood it. The car wasn't passing through town. It was arriving for someone, and for some reason. He was certain it was for him. The sedan waited at the curb like it owned the morning. Sunlight slid across its hood without warming it. The windows remained black, unreadable, swallowing reflections instead of giving them back. Jerry told himself cars like this probably came through Serenidad every day. Important people, important errands, important lives. Still, it had stopped in front of the diner. Still, it hadn't moved. He became aware of how loud the bell above the door sounded when he stepped outside. Too loud. Heads turned, then turned away just as quickly. The street returned to its performance of normal. Jerry wiped his palms on his jeans. "You're being dramatic," he muttered, though the words felt rehearsed, borrowed from someone braver. The rear window lowered halfway. 2 men sat inside, luxury suits, black gloves, sunglasses despite the shade. Their expressions floated above the dark interior like masks waiting for faces. "Jerry Brandt," one of them said. Not a question. Jerry swallowed. "Yeah. We understand you're interested in employment." Interested, as if he hadn't spent the night staring at the ad until the letters blurred, as if the number of pills beside his mother's bed wasn't rising, as if the fridge at home wasn't learning how to echo. "I applied," he managed. "Good," the second man said. "We prefer initiative." The door beside them clicked open. The sound was soft. Final. Jerry glanced back at the diner. The waitress had disappeared from the window. Everyone had. He felt the shape of the town behind him, watching but unwilling to witness. "How long is the trial shift?" he asked. The men exchanged a look he couldn't read. "Until it's over," one replied. Jerry laughed, hoping they would. They didn't.
Private transport provided.
He thought of the money. He thought of staying stuck. And before courage could argue again, Jerry stepped inside. The door closed with the patience of something that knew it would not need to reopen. The ride lasted forever and no time at all. The divider glass in front of them reflected Jerry's face back at him, pale and stretched, as though the car were already practicing how he might look in a photograph later. The driver existed only as a shadow beyond the tint. No one spoke. Jerry tried once. "So, busy place?" The words died in the upholstery. The men didn't turn, didn't blink, didn't breathe loudly enough to prove they needed to. The city thinned. Streetlights gave way to private roads, curved and immaculate, lined with stone walls that hid everything worth seeing. At the top of the hill, something vast interrupted the sky. Warm windows, gold trim, a promise of laughter floating down through the dark. the club. But the sedan didn't approach the front. It slipped behind it. Service entrance. The car stopped. The door opened immediately, as if someone had been waiting with their hand already on the handle. A woman stood there, black uniform, name tag, hands folded with professional calm. "Follow me," she said. Her voice struck him first. Memory before recognition. Jerry stepped out, legs unsure, heart sprinting ahead without him. The men remained inside. The door shut. The sedan rolled away. The woman turned, light touched her face, and the world tore. "Sally?" He breathed. She flinched like he had fired a gun. Up close, she looked thinner, paler, arranged into something careful. Her smile was measured, practiced, placed where fear used to live. He remembered the funeral, the flowers, his mother crying at the kitchen table. "You can't say that name," she whispered sharply. Jerry's thoughts collapsed in on themselves. They said..." "I know what they said." Her eyes darted toward the ceiling. Cameras, always cameras. "Please," she said, softer now, almost breaking. "Wait in the room they give you. Do not wander." Do not wander. Like he was already somewhere dangerous. Like he had already arrived too late. Sally stepped back, professional again. "Welcome to the club, Mr. Brandt." And then she led him inside the place that had buried her. The room they placed him in had no windows. Lockers lined the walls in perfect rows, each one polished, numbered, identical. A bench ran down the center beneath a chandelier too elegant for a place that smelled faintly of bleach. Jerry counted 6 other employees. No one spoke. They dressed in silence, movements small and rehearsed, like hospital patients pretending they were already better. When Jerry tried to meet someone's eyes, they found something else to look at. A man cleared his throat near the far wall, older, early 50s, uniform pressed with military precision. His hair had gone gray in a way that suggested it had happened quickly. "Scott," he said, offering a hand. His grip was firm, human. Jerry almost sagged with relief. "Jerry." Scott nodded once, then checked the ceiling. "Camera. Always camera." "You'll be behind the main bar tonight," he said, voice low, efficient. "Listen carefully. I'm only saying this once." Jerry leaned closer. Scott did not. "Do not stare at the guests," he continued. "If you see something unusual, you didn't. If someone screams, you keep pouring." Jerry blinked. "What?" Scott kept going. "If a guest feeds, you continue working." The word landed wrong. Feeds. Jerry waited for explanation. None came. "You get one 15-minute break," Scott said. "Take it where you're assigned. Do not explore." His jaw tightened, like there was more he wanted to say but couldn't afford. "And if someone disappears?" Jerry asked quietly. Scott met his eyes for just a second. "They've been retired." Retired. Like a pension waited somewhere. Like a beach existed at the end of it. Scott straightened, mask returning, employee replacing man. Most important, he said. His voice nearly failed him. Don't make them notice you. Music swelled somewhere above them. Laughter, rich and effortless. Dinner had begun. Scott adjusted Jerry's tie with shaking fingers. Smile, he whispered. Then the doors opened. The main floor of the club glittered like a lie told beautifully. Crystal chandeliers spilled honeyed light over white tablecloths. Music drifted from somewhere unseen, strings and piano, delicate as breath against glass. Guests moved in slow, confident currents, the fabric of their clothes whispering secrets Jerry couldn't afford to hear. No one looked hungry. They looked important. Jerry found his station behind the bar exactly where Scott had promised it would be. Bottles lined the mirrored wall, labels foreign, liquids separated into shades he had no names for, deep garnets, luminous golds, something pale and cloudy that moved even when untouched. Scott took position beside him. "Watch," he murmured. Jerry nodded. A woman approached first, ageless, perfect, smile practiced to surgical sharpness. She asked for something Jerry had never heard of. Scott made it without hesitation. The woman's eyes slid to Jerry, paused. Too long. Jerry lowered his gaze. Rule 9. When he looked back up, she was already walking away. "Ice," Scott whispered, and Jerry realized he had forgotten it entirely. His hand shook as he filled the next glass. Laughter burst from somewhere to the left. Sudden, delighted, abruptly cut short. Several guests glanced toward the sound, annoyed by interruption rather than alarmed. Jerry did not look. He poured, he wiped, he breathed through his mouth. A man took the stool at the far end of the bar, silver hair, tailored suit, a presence that bent the air around him as if it preferred him that way. A monocle rested in one eye, delicate chain disappearing into his pocket, his mustache curled at the ends like quotation marks. He smiled at Jerry, not warmly, knowingly. "Well," the man said, voice smooth as old wine, "we have someone new." Scott went very still. "Mr. William Von Mont," he murmured, almost reverent, almost afraid. Von Mont adjusted his gloves, studying Jerry the way someone might inspect a cut of meat before deciding how it should be prepared. Jerry remembered the rules. Do not stare. Do not react. Do not be noticed. Von Mont leaned closer, and Jerry understood with awful certainty. He already had been. Von Mont did not blink. He watched Jerry the way men watched storms from balconies, fascinated, confident they would not be touched by it. "My usual," he said. Jerry's brain emptied. Scott moved smoothly beside him, already reaching for bottles whose labels refused to stay still when looked at directly. The liquid slid together in the shaker with a sound too thick to be alcohol. Jerry forced himself to breathe. Remember the rules. He placed the glass on a linen napkin and pushed it forward with what he hoped passed for professional calm. Von Mont accepted it without thanks, only expectation. On his arm rested a woman Jerry hadn't seen approach. Young, beautiful, her smile trembled like it was trying to remain in place. She did not look at Jerry. She looked at the exit. Von Mont followed her gaze, amused, and brushed his thumb across her wrist in something that might have been reassurance or ownership. They left together. Scott resumed pouring for another guest immediately, movements sharper now. "Good," he whispered. "Very good." Jerry nodded, though his stomach had begun folding itself into smaller and smaller shapes. Minutes passed. Music swelled, plates arrived, vanished, replaced. Then Von Mont returned. Alone. He placed the empty glass down with delicate care. "Another," he said pleasantly. Jerry reached for it. That was when he saw the corner of the man's mouth. Dark, wet. A thin crescent not fully cleaned away. Von Mont noticed him noticing. His smile widened. Too far. For a fraction of a second, Jerry saw past the etiquette, past the grooming, past the expensive human costume. Something older looked out, and it was delighted. Jerry dropped his gaze so fast the room tilted. When he dared look again, Von Mont appeared merely refined, dabbing politely at his lips with a handkerchief. A folded bill waited beside the glass. Generous, thick. Jerry picked it up. His fingers came away red. Von Mont chuckled softly. "Welcome to the family," he said. Then he drifted back into the crowd, already searching for something new to ruin. Scott did not report for the next shift. No announcement came, no explanation. His station behind the bar stood ready as if he might arrive any second. Tools aligned with military neatness, apron folded, glassware breathing in the chandelier light. But the man himself had been edited out. Jerry noticed it immediately. So did everyone else. No one spoke. Another bartender took Scott's place, younger, faster, eyes already trained to look past the terrible things. He did not introduce himself. He did not ask questions. He worked. Sally crossed the floor twice during the first hour. Both times she avoided Jerry with surgical precision. The second time he saw it. Her hands were shaking. Not nerves. Countdown. Von Mont did not appear. Somehow that felt worse. Jerry poured drinks he couldn't pronounce and tried not to remember the color of the man's mouth. The bill from last night burned in his locker, folded small, impossible to clean. Retired. The word returned again and again, wearing Scott's voice like a disguise. Halfway through the evening, Jerry felt it. A vibration against his hip. Soft, mechanical. Wrong. He froze. For a moment, he thought the cameras might hear it, might swivel toward him like metal sunflowers. But no one moved. He slipped a hand into his pocket. Pager. He didn't remember bringing it. Did he? The screen glowed up at him, numbers assembling themselves with patient urgency. 18, 21, 14. Jerry's mouth dried. He knew this system, high school afternoons, notes passed in code. He saw his friends grin like it had been stored behind his eyelids all this time. R-U-N. Jerry nearly dropped it. The bartender beside him poured, smiled, survived. Music lifted, guests laughed. Sally stumbled near the far wall, catching herself on a tray. She met Jerry's eyes, just once, and gave the smallest shake of her head. Too late. Jerry understood something terrible in that moment. The pager wasn't a warning. It was proof. They had let someone keep it. Jerry took his break because the rules demanded it. 15 minutes. No exploring. No wandering. The door-marked staff corridor opened with a polite click, and suddenly the music fell away like it had never existed. The air cooled, the carpets thickened, the walls narrowed into something that felt less like architecture and more like intention. Jerry walked. His pulse counted louder than his shoes. He told himself he was not exploring. He was moving. That was different. Carts stood parked along the walls, stacked with folded linens, polished silver, sealed envelopes heavy with gold trim. Doors passed on either side, all identical, all closed. At the far end of the corridor, someone turned the corner fast. They collided. Jerry grabbed the man's shoulders to steady him. "I'm sorry, The apology shattered. His father. Older, thinner, wrapped in a bellboy's uniform that hung on him like it had chosen him last. His hair had surrendered to gray in patches Jerry didn't remember. His hands trembled around the luggage cart. But it was him. It was absolutely him. "Dad?" The word crawled out small. For a heartbeat, recognition flared. Pain followed it. Then terror. His father's eyes flicked past him, over his shoulder, toward something Jerry didn't dare turn to see. The fear vanished, replaced by vacancy. Professional calm slid into place like a mask lowered from above. "I think you're mistaken, sir," his father said. "Sir?" Jerry felt the hallway tilt. "It's me," he whispered. "It's Jerry." The man gave a polite smile, distant, rehearsed. "I don't have children." Footsteps approached behind them, heavy, important. His father leaned in just enough for breath to touch Jerry's ear. "Don't make them notice you," he murmured. Then he straightened. By the time the voice arrived, deep, irritated, expensive, the bellboy was already moving again. "Problem?" the voice asked. Jerry swallowed everything he wanted to scream. "No," he said. His father did not look back. Dawn found Jerry already exhausted. The club released its workers the way a mouth might release a bone, gently, without apology, certain it could always call it back. The ride down the hill blurred. He did not remember doors opening or closing, only that suddenly he stood on his street with the sky going pale and the world pretending to be ordinary again. Birds sang. A sprinkler ticked somewhere. Jerry felt like screaming at all of it. Inside the house, the curtains were half drawn. His mother slept in the rented hospital bed, oxygen whispering beside her in patient rhythm. A mug from last night sat untouched on the table, his brother's homework spread around it like a life still trying. Jerry stood in the doorway and wondered if he should tell them about the hallways, about the masks, about the way his father had erased him. But the words would make it real, and real things did damage. He went to his room instead, closed the door, sat on the edge of the bed. His hands would not stop shaking. Dad. Alive, working, terrified. The whisper returned, threading through his skull. "Don't make them notice you." Jerry laughed once, thin and broken. Too late. The pager buzzed. He flinched so hard it hurt. For a second, he thought it might burn him through the fabric. He pulled it free. Numbers again. Longer this time. More urgent. 20, 15, 15, 12, 1, 20, 5. Jerry didn't need paper, didn't need memory tricks. The translation arrived fully formed. Too late. His stomach dropped. Another line appeared beneath it. They promote tonight. Promote. Jerry thought of Scott's empty station, of polished shoes waiting without feet, of Von Mont smiling like a collector. Something moved outside his window, a shadow passing by in daylight, too slow for a neighbor, too deliberate. Jerry lowered the blind with careful, trembling fingers. The pager buzzed once more. Final. Don't go back. Jerry closed his eyes and already knew he would. The club welcomed him back like nothing had happened. Same chandeliers, same music, same beautiful lie. But something underneath it had shifted, the way air changes before lightning. Staff stood straighter, smiles lasted longer, every movement carried rehearsal. Jerry felt it immediately. Expectation. Scott's replacement avoided him entirely tonight. Sally crossed the room once, tray balanced, eyes forward, expression emptied of even the hope of warning him. She knew. They all knew. Jerry tied his apron and walked into the glow. Von Mont was already there, waiting. He did not sit this time. He stood near the center of the floor with several other members, their clothing immaculate, their posture reverent. A small platform had been arranged between the tables, draped in velvet, lit warmly as if prepared for applause. Jerry's throat tightened. No one had told him this was happening, which meant everyone had. A man Jerry recognized from the locker room stood on the platform, mid-30s, quiet. The one who had dressed with slow, careful hands. Tonight he was smiling, too peacefully. An envelope of heavy gold rested in his grip. Guests watched with fond approval. Some even clapped, polite, delighted. Von Mont's gaze drifted until it found Jerry, held him there, witness. The man on the stage opened the envelope and read silently, nodding as if confirming an appointment he had been expecting all his life. Two attendants approached. Kind, gentle. They guided him off the platform toward a hallway hidden behind velvet curtains. Applause followed. Jerry noticed something unbearable. No one wished the man luck, because luck had already run out. As the curtains closed, the music swelled, eager to erase. Von Mont lifted a glass toward Jerry in private salute. Jerry's pager buzzed. He did not need to look. He understood the message without translation. Soon. Jerry worked the rest of the shift like a man standing on a trap door. Every laugh from the dining floor sounded measured. Every glance lingered half a second too long. Even the music felt observant, like it had learned how to listen. He kept his head down. He poured. He survived. But survival tonight felt temporary. The velvet curtains where the promoted man had vanished remained closed. No one returned through them. Waiters passed by as if that part of the room had been deleted. Jerry checked the clock. Almost closing, almost free. A hand brushed his sleeve. He nearly shouted. Sally. Her face remained composed, professional, eyes forward as if she were adjusting his collar instead of risking everything. Locker room, she breathed. The word barely existed. Then she was gone. Jerry waited 3 full minutes because panic was noticeable and noticeable was fatal. When he finally slipped away, the hallway felt narrower than before, walls leaning inward with patient curiosity. The locker room door shut behind him. Silence. His station. His locker. Something new resting on the bench. Cream envelope, heavy, his name written in perfect ink. Jerry did not touch it, did not breathe. He didn't need to open it to know what lived inside. Retirement, promotion, processing, whatever polite word they preferred tonight. His pager buzzed. He almost laughed. Of course it did. The numbers rolled across the screen slowly, as if enjoying themselves. Not you. Jerry frowned. Another line followed. Your brother. The world went very small. He pictured early mornings, newspapers, the way his brother pretended adulthood fit. A sound left Jerry that he did not recognize as human. The door behind him opened. Jerry turned. Von Mont stood there, smiling gently. I do hope, the man said, you'll attend. Von Mont waited with infinite patience. That was the worst part. Not hunger, not anger. Certainty. Jerry forced himself to blink, to breathe, to exist in manageable pieces. My brother doesn't work here, he said, proud of how steady it sounded. Von Mont smiled like a tutor indulging a slow child. Everyone works here, he replied. The words slid into Jerry's spine and stayed there. I want Sally, Jerry said. A mistake. The temperature changed, not in the air, in the people. Somewhere beyond the hallway, footsteps paused, conversation softened, attention gathered without appearing to. Von Mont's expression remained fond. Ah, he said. The Beaumont girl. Like she was a file, like she had already been closed. She is very loyal, he continued. We do appreciate loyalty. Jerry's pulse hammered so hard he wondered how the cameras didn't shake with it. Please, he tried. Hated himself for it. Von Mont considered him. Then, with theatrical generosity, he stepped aside and gestured down the corridor. A gift or bait? Very well, he said. Go find her. Jerry didn't hesitate, because if he did, he would never move again. He walked, not ran. Running was panic, and panic was prey. The corridor bent in ways he didn't remember, doors rearranging themselves with quiet authority. Music from the ballroom seemed impossibly far away now, replaced by a lower sound, machinery perhaps, or breathing too large to belong to lungs. Sally, he whispered. No answer. He turned another corner. She stood there, waiting, eyes red, like she had already started mourning him. "You shouldn't have come tonight," she said. Jerry almost laughed. "They invited my brother." Something broke in her face, not surprise. Recognition. "They're accelerating," she whispered. "You made them curious." Jerry stepped closer. "Help me." Sally looked past him, checking the invisible audience, measuring the cost of mercy. Then she grabbed his hand. "Okay," she said, and pulled him toward the part of the club no map admitted existed. The door Sally chose did not look important. That was its camouflage, painted the same cream as the others, polished handle, no guard, no sign. It might have led to linens or mops or another careful lie. She opened it anyway. Heat rolled out. Not fire, breath. Jerry followed her into a staircase spiraling downward, the music upstairs peeling away layer by layer until only the mechanical heart of the building remained. Pumps, grinders, distant movement arranged with dreadful efficiency. Something working exactly as intended. "Keep quiet," Sally whispered. "I am," he breathed back, though his thoughts were screaming. At the bottom, the hallway widened into something industrial and cathedral-like. Marble met steel, velvet ropes guided lanes of movement that no longer bothered pretending to be humane. People knelt along the walls, employees still in uniform. Some wept silently, others held smiles too steady to be real, devotion stretched over terror like lacquer, every spine straight, every chin lifted, waiting to be seen. Jerry searched the faces and found one he knew. Scott, alive. Relief punched through him and died just as quickly. Scott's posture was immaculate now. Whatever fear had lived in him upstairs had been filed away. In its place sat expectation, hope sharpened into performance. A woman in evening wear rested her fingers on his shoulder, gentle, appraising. Not comfort, assessment. "You did well," she said. The kneeling staff nearby shifted almost imperceptibly. Jealous. Scott exhaled like a man reprieved at the last possible second. He beamed. Jerry recoiled. "What did they do to him?" he mouthed. Sally didn't look away from the rows of bowed heads. "Nothing," she whispered. "That's the problem." Farther down, tall doors opened with rehearsed grace. Light poured across the marble. Members waited beyond it, elegant, luminous, terrible in their patience. Their attention moved the way a spotlight moves, selecting, weighing, deciding who would be invited forward and who would be retired. At the center stood a figure Jerry recognized before the man even turned. His best friend, dressed beautifully, smiling too wide, standing straighter than Jerry had ever seen him stand, like he had finally understood the rules. His eyes shone from within, lit by something that had replaced him with exquisite care. Jerry made a sound. Sally's grip crushed his hand. "You can't save everyone," she said. Behind them, deeper in the corridor, a door opened with polite finality. Something small rolled across the floor. A familiar bicycle helmet circled once, softly, and came to rest against Jerry's shoe. No one went to retrieve it. The helmet did not belong here, It belonged to early mornings and half-finished cereal and a kid pretending the world would eventually be kind. Jerry picked it up, still warm. "Where is he?" he demanded. The words tore through the careful choreography, heads turned, not staff. Members. Sally's hand clamped around his sleeve. "Jerry, stop." But stopping had expired. From somewhere deeper in the corridor, a scream broke loose. High, brief, cut short with professional efficiency. No one flinched. Sally did not look toward it. "Retirement," she said under her breath. And the ceremony continued. Von Mont stepped through the tall doors with patient elegance, applauding once, the sound delicate and devastating. "How moving," he said. "Family." Jerry saw his brother across the marble, held lightly between two attendants, as though he might tremble from the honor of proximity. His eyes were wide, shining, not yet aware of the arithmetic being done around him. "Jerry," his brother called. Relief filled the word. Rescue, safety. Jerry tried to reach him. The crowd adjusted. Not blocking, optimizing. Predators refining sightlines. "You see," Von Mont said pleasantly, "employment is a ladder." Jerry shoved past a woman whose smile trembled under the effort of remaining beautiful. "I'll take his place," he said. Silence settled, attentive, evaluative. Around them, members leaned forward, the smallest fraction. Sally made a broken sound. Von Mont regarded Jerry with warm approval. "Oh," he murmured, "but you already have." Understanding arrived like vertigo. They had not chosen his brother instead. They had expanded the table. Hands reached. Measured, entitled. Sally moved. The silver tray rang like a struck bell against the nearest face. Gasps rippled, offended, not afraid. She seized the brother and drove him toward the stairwell. "Run!" Civility fell away. Guests shed their manners like garments, smiles widened past intention, bodies loosened from etiquette into appetite. Jerry turned once and saw his father among them, magnificent, monstrous, watching. For one unbearable heartbeat, the creature hesitated. Then he lowered his gaze. Permission granted. Jerry ran. Up the stairs, alarms blooming behind them, claws skittering across marble, the club unfolding its deeper architecture in pursuit. At the top, Sally forced the brother through the service exit. Night air burst open around them, cold and enormous. Behind them, the doors began their patient return to closed. Sally did not follow. She stood in the threshold, breath shuddering, eyes fixed on the light beyond the marble. The order, the safety of obedience, the promise that if she stepped back into place, the choosing might pass her by one more time. Stay useful, stay unseen, stay alive. Her shoulders lowered. Jerry saw it happen, saw the training reclaim her. Somewhere inside the club, another cry rose and folded in on itself. Retirement. Sally flinched, because she knew, not tonight, maybe, but soon. The ladder always ended. Jerry grabbed her hand. "No," he said. Not angry, not pleading, certain. For a heartbeat she resisted, the building pulling one way, the night the other. Then her fingers crushed his back. Choice made. Jerry dragged her across the threshold just as the doors sealed with quiet perfection. The lock turned, the music resumed inside as if nothing had misplaced itself. Sally stumbled into the dark with them, shaking, alive, no longer owned. And for the first time, the club had lost something. They did not follow. That was the first miracle. Jerry kept waiting for headlights, for figures to detach themselves from the trees, for velvet courtesy to reorganize into pursuit. Nothing came. The road below the hill slept peacefully, tucked into suburban innocence. Sprinklers ticked, porch lights glowed. Somewhere a dog argued with empty air. Jerry walked with his brother. Neither spoke. The boy wore the fragile look of someone delivered from a dream that had not finished with him. His fist remained twisted in Jerry's sleeve as though reality might rescind the offer. Sally walked beside them. Free air touched her like something undeserved. Twice she glanced back toward the hill. Not longing, orientation, like a compass checking north. By the time they reached home, dawn had begun its careful climb. Their mother opened the door and broke apart at the sight of them, relief overtaking curiosity, gratitude choosing ignorance. She gathered them close, counting fingers, hair, breath. Jerry let her. He let the night be unsaid. He sat his brother at the table and poured orange juice with hands that might never relearn steadiness. Sally remained near the doorway, unsure what furniture meant, what safety was allowed to look like. Mom noticed her. Something old passed across her face. "You worked there," she said softly. Not a question. Sally nodded. Mom closed her eyes. "I wondered when it would come for one of you," she whispered. The kitchen settled around that sentence. Jerry looked up. "What do you mean?" She took a breath that had been waiting years to leave her. "It took your father," she said. "Little promotions at first, late nights, special responsibilities. They made him feel chosen." Her mouth trembled. Then one evening he stopped coming home. Jerry felt the marble again beneath his feet, the applause, the permission in his father's eyes. "I saw him," Jerry said. Mom did not ask where. "I almost stayed," he added. Across the room, Sally's expression flickered. Shame, recognition, grief for how close obedience can feel to safety. Mom nodded like someone hearing the end of a story she already knew. "They built the town," she said. "They own the quiet parts. We survive by pretending not to understand the price." Silence took a seat with them. On the counter, the pager waited. Jerry did not remember placing it there. It buzzed once, soft, patient. No one else reacted. Jerry looked at Sally. For a terrible second, he saw calculation return to her, usefulness, ranking, the old reflex to answer when called. Then she met his eyes and did not move. Jerry picked up the pager, numbers unfolded carefully, lovingly, like handwriting practiced over decades.
Thank you for your service.
Something inside him did not break. It arranged itself around endurance. Outside, traffic began its morning crawl toward work, toward schools, toward errands, lives engineered with blind spots wide enough for institutions to breathe. Up on the hill, the club would already be restoring its elegance, polishing railings, drafting invitations. Waiting. His brother squeezed his hand. "You okay?" Jerry smiled. He had learned how. "Yeah," he said. But he did not look toward the hill again, because he understood now. They did not need to chase. They already lived everywhere.
It's been 3 months. In daylight, the hill almost pretends to shrink. I know better. I don't test that illusion. Jerry laughs again. He believes in mornings. I work the early shift at the diner now. Coffee refills, clean counters, harmless conversations. I check the mail before he does. I memorize license plates. I don't wear heels anymore. They haven't called. That doesn't mean they won't. Institutions like that don't forget investments. I don't look at it anymore.
I watch the town.